Now what's this gonna be? You know how I played it all. That nigga burning G. All by his bread. Bitch, I'm all about my bread. All by my bread. Bitch, I'm all about my bread. All by my bread. Now what's this gonna be? You know how I played it all. That nigga burning G. All by his bread. Now bitch, I'm all about my bread. All by my bread. Now bitch, I'm all about my bread. All by my bread. Now bitch, I'm first green ballin', trying to get my bread long. You know the game gone and my mind been blown. Different decisions that I done made got me fucked up now. Still gon' thug the life I'm living, still gon' hold this shit down. Every day of my life, yeah, nigga chasing trees. And I'm saying niggas should be around there, won't see you off your feet. My mama been doing bad, but I ain't going into that. I done picked that girl up when I caught my first package. I be damn, me and my people hurting for something for a day. That shit happened, the next man ain't getting nothing. Faded the root of evil, and that's my damn best friend. And I put that on my life, ain't nobody gon' fuck with him. You try to jam it, yeah, that ass getting chopped. Trying to serve ain't got no business on my block, now bitch, you're getting chopped. Now either way you try to fuck with my pockets, don't believe that ass getting chopped. Now what's this gonna be? You know how I played it all. That nigga burning G. All by his bread. Bitch, I'm all about my bread. All by my bread. Bitch, I'm all about my bread. All by my bread. Now what's this gonna be? You know how I played it all. That nigga burning G. All by his bread. Now bitch, I'm all about my bread. All by my bread. Now bitch, I'm all about my bread. All by my bread. Now bitch, I'm back in the mix. Those flaky niggas better stand down. Came home, got me some yam, I'm the man now. Niggas, some bitches all from my face, I ain't know who they is. Everybody up from my mix like I'm a hero and shit. Fall back, I'll buy a brick. Right now, I'm on a mission. I'm giving you 2 for 20, got grams going for 50. Putting that in my pockets, the nigga, you bullshitting. What the fuck you ain't listen? I done told you I got to get it. Nobody depending on me, so it's all mine. I ain't stressing out by myself, that's how it going down. My mama fighting her little dicks and she gon' be alright. Before I ever tweaking and begging, I put something up on the pipe. It's a little fraction of my life, still all in for a lick. Lurking for fatty, looking for niggas to tone mix. Start to lurking if I'm hurting, different side come out. That flip shit, Dr. Jacob, Mr. High come out. Gonna be, you know how I played it all. That nigga burning G.
All right, my good old folks, we back at it. We back at it. Big shout out to everybody taking care of them pets across the world. Everybody doing what they gotta do. It's your boy K9s on the PBC, and today we got a topic to talk about. War Pony. We talking about this dog War Pony, who is the father of Hog. You know, it's been a little bit of talk about a little that came off War Pony, and the brother just had some questions about it. And like he said, it wasn't nothing to get all controversial about and all kind of crazy stuff. So we just gonna talk about the War Pony dog and get on and stay on that topic for a few minutes. You know, now anybody who been following my videos, you know I've been speaking about this from way back. You know, and folk wanted to talk all kind of trash. You know what I'm saying? Say this, say that, and not what I was saying. You know, but I've been told y'all brothers and y'all sisters around here in this dog community, you will not get Rottweiler color dogs when you breed dogs coming off Grand Champion Yellow. If you breed Mayday dogs, and it's the dog is coming off Mayday on the top, Mayday on the bottom, nothing but Mayday dogs on the bottom, Grand Champion Yellow dogs on the bottom, you know, and the yellow stuff on the top, you're not going to get Rottweiler color dogs. So the first incident was a fella from down south bred one of his I want to say hog females back to hog. He bred the female back to hog, and he got Rottweiler color dogs. You see, Pro and Game Mag was speaking about hog not even being off who they said it was back in the days, or not necessarily back in the days, but back when he was doing his show, he was saying hog was off a dog named Copper. Now when I looked in Copper pedigree, I didn't see no Rottweiler color dogs. I still didn't see any Rottweiler color dogs. Now I told y'all years ago that Kant had Sorrell's dogs on his yard, or at least the dogs with the Rottweiler color. I don't know if they Sorrell dogs or not, but they the dogs with the Rottweiler color. I told y'all those was on the yard. Now, we looked at the pedigrees from the first litter. We had a litter full of tricolor dogs. There was either, one of them was like a grayish color, no lie. One of the dogs off that litter was like a bluish grayish color. Off the first litter we talking about with the tricolor dogs. One was like a grayish blue, one was a black Rottweiler color, and the other one, was like a red nose with the Whittle Peak spots, little brown. You can see the little light spots on it, and Maul Kant said that was coming back from the bolio. I made a statement saying there's no way in hell that these traits is popping up 50 years later. They didn't pop up for none of Mayday offspring. They didn't pop up for none of Luke Kingdom offspring, Mayday grandkids, great grandkids, when you're breeding them back into each other. So how did all of a sudden a Rottweiler color dog pop up? Now, I told y'all brothers before, when we get heavily invested in these dogs, sometimes we don't want to see what's really going on out here. Sometimes when our favorite dog man is making the mistake, we don't want to see the mistake. Now, nobody said when this situation was going on, I never said Maul Kant made them breedings intentionally. I said if another dog hit that dog, he should acknowledge it. Acknowledge what's going on and don't try to sit on the lie. Same way Walkamo doing, trying to sit on the lie until the lie is fully exposed. Tell that brother something else got hold to his dog. Don't send the brother out there in the dog world with a dog off Red Boy. No lie, this is all the dog had in it. When you go all the way back in the pedigree, Red Boy and Grand Champion Yellow and the Mayday dog coming down off the Hollingsworth stuff. So, you got the Hollingsworth dogs, and I don't want to hear no black dogs coming down off no damn Hollingsworth side of the Mayday stuff. Them was red dogs. The ones that Mayday was bred with. And not saying none of them dogs way in their background didn't have a black dog in it. Cause we see the Bull Boy Bob dog back there and some of the dogs, not talking about this particular litter, but I'm just talking about in general with the bolio stuff. But right is right, wrong is wrong. And when it comes to this money and these dogs, these folk out here will shit you. Just go ahead and give me that 1,500, 1,000, whatever you're going to give me, 2,000, whatever you're going to give me, and think this dog is off of so-and-so. Once you got your dog, it don't matter to me no more. That's the way a lot of these bulldoggers think. Now, what you have to do is look at the pedigree. It's what we did. We looked at the pedigree of this particular litter. It was no way that tricolor dogs or dogs with the black and brown or black and tan dogs were supposed to come off this breeding. Half the country, oh, it's bred this way, it's supposed to do it. Half the country and the other half agree with what I'm saying. Because you feel like a fella got good dogs, or you That's like me breeding mellow yellow with, give you an example. It's like me breeding mellow yellow with JD Hall. The brothers that was following me when I had JD Hall. It's like me breeding mellow yellow to JD Hall, which is the brother Bruce Banner's Charlotte litter, and mellow yellow 2 litter. If I breed them 2 dogs together and I got a black dog out that litter, something ain't right with one of them dogs. Plain out. You got mellow yellow coming off Big John stuff, and then you got JD Hall coming off Hog, and on the bottom side is Sammy the Arab Boomer stuff with the Mayday stuff. Sammy the Arab Boomer, Mayday, and Grand Champion Yellow and Jocko. Now you telling me where a black dog Rottweiler pattern is supposed to pop up at. Now, my thing, when I was talking about this litter in the past, it's a difference between getting a black dog and getting you a Rottweiler tricolor dog. That Whittle Peak that you see in them dogs, that's a gene. That's a gene that must be there. See, I can breed my black dog with mellow yellow, and we gonna get black dogs, or we gonna get buckskin dogs, or we'll get, brown dogs or whatever. But that Rottweiler color, that tri-looking color that we talk about with the Whittle Peak, don't make no difference what color the dog is. The gene have to be in them dogs. There's no way a dog can produce Whittle Peak eyebrows. Mellow yellow not gonna give me a dog with Whittle Peak eyebrows when I breed her with Fletcher, which is a little mate brother. There is no dogs in the whole lifespan of that line that has that trait. So if she have a litter with it, then I know something ain't right. Something hit her on the yard. Now in this particular situation that we was talking about, the brother sent his female to breed to Kant, which he showed the dog stuck to his female. He showed the dog stuck to him, but the litter didn't look right. Now, it's 2 things that could be going on here. Well, it can't be going on no more. It happened already. This one of them incidences where, we can cry over spilt milk, but it ain't no use to. It's done. Not only is it done, but the breeder is pretty much done with it. And not only is it done, imagine stepping to Kant right now, talking about, oh, this ain't off this ain't off that, this ain't off this. He don't give a damn on what you talking about right now when it come to any of them dogs. When you ain't being fair in business out here, it always bites you somewhere or another. When you're not being fair in business, it always come back to bite you. You could think you getting over on this brother today, or, he taking this, and, the money coming in is good. I tell you, man, these brothers will make sure you happy. As far as these pedigrees, it don't matter what you think, as long as you think you got it. You could think you got a Big John dog, as long as you think that. It don't matter if this bitch came from the dog pound or not. As long as you feel like you got one, that's all that matter to them. And they got your damn money. So like I said, not only are we not supposed to get no black dogs coming off this Red Boy Jocko stuff, Red Boy Jocko Bolio, you're not supposed to get no black dogs, but you're not supposed to get no tricolor dogs. That's a double dose of something we ain't supposed to get. Now, what we're going to be talking about in a few minutes, I'm not sure about the tricolor, but we're going to get to that. I'm speaking about the first incident. This is not just a one-time thing. This is an oncurring situation going on here. Now, the main thing I say when it comes to these dogs, when it comes to these pedigrees and dogs that don't fit in, you got to look at that whole pedigree. Because I can say, oh, it's Red Boy Jocko on top, all yellow on top, and heavy Mayday on the bottom. Heavy Mayday don't mean all Mayday. You got to look at that whole ped. And I ain't talking about no damn 13 generations back. I'm talking about look at them first 4 generations. Look at all the dogs. That's why I keep stressing the point to put pictures up on them dogs on online pedigrees should have been mandatory from the time the online pedigree registration start. If you don't put a picture in, it won't let you hit the submit button to finish the online ped. It should have been mandatory. You need these pictures of these dogs. I guarantee you, if it was mandatory to put them pictures behind them dogs on online ped, I guarantee you at least 15 to 20% of these dogs that we see out here today have some kind of discrepancy about it. Oh, this don't look right. This ain't going. At least 15 to 20 some percent. You got brothers out here with dogs right now today. If only they can see the pictures of these dogs in this pedigree, they would know that their dog don't hold no traits. The puppies that they got don't hold no traits for nothing that they see on the ped. So I had, when I brought that up, the brother who made the breeding, he was trying to kind of saying I was wrong and this and that, and the people who's getting the puppies, they was saying it like I don't know what I'm talking about and this and all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? When I'm clearly telling you, brothers, something ain't right. You look at the pedigree. We always want to talk about these peds, but first thing we got to do is know how to read these motherfuckers. And the thing about it, that's why I say we can't leave no dogs off when we talk about these dogs. A brother will say he got an Eli dog and he only got Eli in the pedigree one time. Eli dogs in the pedigree, none. Just Eli one time, and it's an Eli dog. It go both ways. You can't say it's a so-and-so dog with only one dog in that pedigree. This ain't no Mayday dog. You don't see Mayday once in the pedigree. And it's not directly off Mayday. Now, it could be off Lou Kane or one of them on the top side, and on the bottom side be off something else, and it still ain't a Mayday dog. Got Mayday in it. Or a 50% Mayday dog, however you want to call it. Then it won't be a 50% Mayday dog because Lou Kane is not 100% Mayday himself. In actuality, it's going to be super, super hard for any dog to be 100% of another dog. Unless he's a clone. It's not real hard mathematics. It ain't nothing that's a scientist got to look at and read. You look at these pedigrees, you see what colors these dogs are coming. And like I said before, you hold a blind eye to what you really need to pay attention to, and you follow up the bullshit out here, looking at all this corny ass shit. You know what I'm saying? These brothers, man, a lot of these YouTube channels get cornier and cornier about a damn day. You know what I'm saying? Should have stuck to what you was doing. It just is what it is, man. I'm out here talking to these brothers and sisters about things that matter in the dog game today. You don't want to be having breeding no top and bottom yellow dogs and coming out with Rottweilers. If I take a grand champion yellow dog and a Mayday dog, all Mayday and yellow, and I breed that with macho buck, all macho buck on the bottom, I'm not going to get a black dog. Pedigrees say I'm not supposed to, at least. That's what the pedigrees say. Now, these breeders will tell you else. They'll tell you something else. Especially, if they feel like you the one that's going to bring that dollar in, or they got the dollar out your pocket already. So the dogs that I'm breeding, I done bred them several times already in the past. So if I come with a Rottweiler color dog off any of my breedings, something ain't right. And these brothers say they breed war pony many different ways, and brothers will use certain things for excuse. But like I said, me myself personally, until I see a pedigree of a particular dog, I can't argue that that black don't supposed to be there yet. You know, or that Rottweiler or tricolor or the Widow Peak don't supposed to be there. I have to see the pedigree, you know. And in the situation that we had the tricolor hog dogs, we saw the pedigree. We seen exactly all the dogs in the pedigree, and none of them dogs led back to that color. You know, now, fast forward, 2026, you know, brother drop a great litter. And I'm looking on Facebook and I see brothers talking about a double bred war pony litter with macho buck on the bottom. You know? And like the brother say, it's nothing to make no big deal about, because he gonna probably keep the puppies regardless. And I would too. You know, there's no need to get rid of them. I'll probably keep that one. Because this dog game is filled with mysteries, man. With mysteries, and the more we do these crazy breedings, inbreeding and line breeding and crossing, and the more we do these crazy breedings, a lot of these mysteries are coming afloat. You know, I mean, you got to look at it for what it is, man. Look at it for what it is and acknowledge it, and acknowledge that you see something wrong in it, you know. And I'm not talking about this particular litter. Like I said, I have to see the pedigree from top to bottom. But if I'm going by what these brothers are speaking about in this particular article here, or this particular, you know, little clip, double bred war pony on top, macho buck, heavy macho buck on the bottom. Double bred war pony means war pony on the top 2 times on the top side, right? But it don't tell me what's on the bottom side. That's why I say I got to see the pedigree to know if this is something ain't right in the pudding or what. You know, double bred war pony could be double bred war pony to an Eli dog on the top side, to a Jeep dog on the top side with some other stuff in it. To a Sorrell's dog, it's still double bred war pony. And heavy bred macho buck just mean heavy bred macho buck. It don't mean all macho buck. So I have to see the ped. Now, once I see the ped and I see, okay, if it say no, nothing but macho buck and nothing but war pony and Mayday dogs, no, that black shouldn't be there. There's no way in hell a black dog, a brindle dog, a Widow Peak eyebrows trait gene dog should show up in any modern day yellow, Mayday, and macho buck dogs. Now, like I said, you always got to look at the whole pedigree. And every single dog in that pedigree, it can be a dog in the 3rd and 4th generation that does carry them traits. And like I said, if we got to go all the way back to Indian Bolio, we're not going all the way back to the damn Indian Bolio. No, we're not going that far back. But, just in case you brothers want to go that far back, we go back to Indian Bolio. 70s, you know, may have carried the Widow Peak traits. You know, his dogs may have carried. We see a lot of his dogs with the Widow Peak traits, Widow Peak genes. A lot of them Bolio dogs. So the genes are in there with Bolio. But that's what I asked y'all brothers and sisters before. How long does this stuff stay in these dogs? You know, I have never seen a breed of dog where a dog owner says, oh man, this is a throwback dog from 50 years ago. This dog looked like his great granddaddy from 50 years ago. And it's an odd looking dog, you know. German Shepherds. We got German Shepherds, right? We got papers on them. And now we have a litter, and then we got a white dog in the litter, right? Just say we got a white one. or some, we're not even gonna say white because that could be a genetic default far as a defect or something, but some crazy colored German Shepherds don't come. We just say a red nose German Shepherd, still fluffy and all that, but the nose red and the color is like a blonde color, a reddish color, and the rest of your dogs is full-blooded German Shepherd colors. Now, this breeder gonna tell you, oh man, that dog there popped up from 60 years ago. That's a gene that popped up from 60 years ago. After all this breeding these folk did with these dogs throughout the years, you telling me that gene popped up from 60 years ago. That's what you telling me with this bolio stuff when it comes to this, the Willow Peak eyebrows. Why the hell none of Mayday dogs came out looking like Rottweilers unless they was bred on the bottom side with something that could produce that? When these brothers was breeding all them yellow dogs, Mayday dogs, Jocko dogs, and certain dogs, they wasn't coming out with none of them markings. But 30 years later, when these brothers not even breeding them as tight as they was bred back then, as close as it was back then, but they popping out with the genes now. We got the Big John dogs, the Chavis Jocko dogs, coming down off Mr. Mayfield dogs. A lot of black dogs in that. You mean to tell me I could breed that Big John stuff so tight for 30 and 40 years? Tight as we can breed it? When we was breeding Big John, which is way closer to the Mayfield dogs, and Jocko themselves, which is way closer to the Mayfield dogs, breeding them close as we can, breeding them, inbreeding them, line breeding them, and we ain't getting no black dogs. No Mayfield color dogs when it comes to the black ones. But 40 years later, we get Mayfield dogs. I'm getting Mayfield color. I can say, oh, this come from Mayfield. These black dogs, these Big John black dogs. We ain't talking about the ones that come out with black poison. Them, forget about them. Forget about them. Oh, these black dogs right here, and Mellow Yellow, them offspring right here, this coming down off that Mayfield trait, that then, all that inbreeding and line breeding. That's Fugazi, man. That's Fugazi and fairy tale. Now, what we will say is, in this good old great world, anything can happen. And some things happen we can't explain. We can't explain it. And it happens. But when it comes to them tri-pattern dogs, when it comes to them Rottweiler color dogs, sometimes you just gotta use your common sense, man. It ain't that much genetics and that much, like I say, science involved with that shit. It's more crookedness involved with that shit, more laziness, not telling you what's really going on, more bullshit involved with it than science. So I think, when it comes to this particular litter, in my opinion, shoot me the pedigree, my brother, if you want me to check it out. But in my opinion, you got to look at every single dog in that first 4 generations, look and see what they coming off of, and see, how your breeding was did in that particular pedigree. Maybe it could pop up. You know what I'm saying? If I got a dog in my 3rd or 4th generation that's black or brindle somewhere or another, just because the mama is buckskin and the granddaddy is buckskin or brown or whatever, and that don't mean that black can't pop out. See, it's the same thing as saying them dogs off that Big John stuff that got the black poison in it, the black dogs that's coming out black spider, black poison and all them. It's no different than saying when you breed it with Buddy or you breed it with Rattler or any of them other dogs, and now you get red or buckskin dogs, right? But now you take that same dog, which is a Big John dog, because of the way they bred it. Bred one with Little Thunder, one with Rattler, took the offspring of that, bred it with Rattler, took the offspring of that and bred it with Buddy. Now you 100%, pretty much 100% Big John dog, right? But the thing is, you still got them black dogs in you. So when you breed that brown dog to another buckskin dog or, red nose or whatever you breeding it to, there's a chance that you may get a black dog in the litter. Because you got it in the pedigree. But if you look in the pedigree and you don't see it, don't act like you see it. It is what it is. You're looking at that pedigree and you see what it is. And if you don't see where this black stuff coming from, you know, it don't mean you crazy or it don't mean you don't know how to read. It means most likely, you know, you reading it right. But it's always error for mistake when we have these dogs on these online peds. We don't necessarily know who the breeder is. We don't necessarily know the dog, you know, but it's in that pedigree and you don't know the color of the dog. But like I said, read them pedigrees, see what them dogs coming off of. If it's all going back to Mayday, Yellow, and Macho Buck, no, something ain't right, you know. And it don't gotta be necessarily be something ain't right with the brother you got your dog from or the brother he got his dog from. It's just the fact that something ain't right in the whole punch. Somewhere or another, something went wrong. It could be 15 years ago somebody made a bullshit breeding and passed it along, and now the traits genes just popping out in the y'all brothers litters. You know, it don't necessarily have to be the brother, like I say, the brother you got it from. You know, so just pay attention to them pedigrees, man. And a lot of these dogs, you know, the colors don't belong in the pedigrees that you got. And as y'all post them, because y'all starting to get the picture now, brothers getting the picture, man. You know, I mean, like I said, it don't mean you got a bad dog. Keep the damn dog. You know, he's a odd duckling in the bunch. You can't do nothing about that. You done made the breeding. You know what you bred them to. You got these colors. I mean, it's about like that Pit and Thug store. What Pit? I mean, excuse me, that Pit Island Thug and Thor stuff. You know, what can you do about it now? Great dogs have been produced off the dogs. It don't matter if they was off Red Devil was off Yellow or not. You know, you can't do nothing about it now. When it comes to that War Pony stuff, off that Mall Can stuff, you can't do nothing about it now. It's over. You know, it's done with. Whatever you got, you got. However they make, whatever puppies they make, they make. But another thing we got to be careful about, my brothers and sisters out there breeding, is these brothers getting your female dogs and other things hitting them on the yard. You know, send your dog to a motherfucker to breed, and then something else hit it on the yard. But they going to let the dog that's supposed to hit them as well. You know, who ain't going to do that? Oh, you get back there, a German Shepherd hung off in your damn dog. You know what I'm saying? Hung off in the man dog, because he had German Shepherds over there too. And hunting dogs. Or one of these other dogs hung off in them. You gonna go steal, you see that Sorrel's dog or that Rottweiler color dog hung off in that man female by accident. Now still you gonna go breed her with the hog dog, take a picture of the hog breeding or the war pony breeding, and then send it to the brother. You know. Now some of them puppies might be war pony puppies, because you know dogs have dual daddies. But the other dog gene's gonna be there as well in his puppies. So I mean, hey, it's still going down, man. We've been talking about this for a few years now. It's still going down, and it's still going down with the same damn dog. It'd be different if we talking about, oh, this another Mayday litter of somebody else bred some dogs and got this, or these brothers bred. No, we talking about the same MF and dog, war pony and hog. You know what I'm saying? So this particular litter that we talking about now, they didn't say anything about hog. They were saying war pony. You know, so that helps us go past hog a little bit. Go to war pony. And then the dogs, like I said, it may not be the dogs at all. It may be mistakes that's happening on the yard. Send the yard man to make this breed, and he breed them whoever he want them, or whoever he breed them to this other dog over here. Or you ain't paying the yard man enough. Yard man pissed off. He pissed off. I'ma show him today. Wait, it ain't gonna bite him today. It'll bite him 2 years from now. Yard man go take the dogs and breed them to who he want them to breed them to. He ain't gonna just breed them to anything. He gonna breed them to something that's gonna show out it's gonna show up in these dogs and he's gonna look odd. See, I can breed them to that brown buckskin dog over there that ain't war pony, but it's gonna still look like war pony puppies, you know. And I need to make a statement. So my statement is I'm gonna breed them to one of these Sorrel looking dogs, one of these Rottweiler tricolor looking dogs, and then wait till these brothers see these puppies later on down the line. Since he ain't want to pay me, since he ain't want to do right by us, we gonna show him what it is, you know. It just is. It go down just like that, man. You know what I'm saying? It go down just like that. That's why I say, you know, only have what you can take care of. Only have what you can deal with. You don't think Mr. Garner got hands on with his dogs on a daily basis? He checking them, looking at them, feeding them, doing this with them, regardless of who he got on his yard taking care of his dogs. He still keep up what's going on with his stock. You know, you got brothers out here who not keeping up with none of this stuff. Sending the man to make the breeding, sending the man to make the breeding, sending the female back to you. Get the money from you, send the female back. You know? So, I mean, man, all I say is take charge of your kennel, take charge of your camp. Stop being the person that cowered down to these bigger kennels or these bigger brothers. You know, don't just come try to stand up to me. You know what I'm saying? And say you want to voice your opinion against me about my dog. Stand up to these other brothers who you feel high on with their dogs. Not just in Facebook, but speak to these brothers. Don't just type that shit out. You know what I'm saying? Speak to these brothers. Let them know that they bullshitting. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is, my brothers and sisters. Y'all hit that like button up out there, man. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed to the channel yet. Today, we just talking about them tricolor dogs and should they be showing up in the Mayday dogs bred with macho buck. You know, and like I said, I can't fully discuss this particular litter the way I want to because I haven't seen the pedigree. And if I'm going off words, what the brother say, double bred hog, don't mean all hog. You know, I mean, double bred war pony, excuse me. Double bred war pony don't mean all war pony. You know, it's 4 pieces in that dog on the top side. When you say double bred war pony, it's 4 pieces. That means it's a bottom on the first war pony and a bottom on the second war pony breeding, you know. And like I said, those could be going back to Mayday, could be going back to the Lynch stuff, the Red Boy Jocko, Bolio stuff. And if it is, we ain't talking about no black dogs. Now the bottom side, the brother say heavy macho buck. Like I told you, it's a little bit of wiggle room in heavy. Heavy don't mean all. What is that little bit of percentage that is not heavy? If that's your Red Boy Jocko and macho buck stuff, ain't supposed to be no black there. You know, no black. But this may be the greatest dog that brother ever laid his hands on. Tell you the honest truth. You know what I'm saying? If it's all Pitbull, maybe the greatest dog that brother ever laid his hands on. And guess what? You won't truly know how the sauce is created. You'll have the best dog you ever had, this black dog that came off this double bred war pony breeding. Like I said, we going to speak about this breeding as if the black not supposed to be there. If all the dogs are macho buck and war pony. We're going to speak about it like that. You know, you know that's not supposed to be there, this black dog. But this joker is nice. He's everything you wanted in a dog. And he ain't disappointed you yet. And he's 3 years old, 2 years old. You won't know how to create this sauce again. Because in your heart, you know something wasn't right in that breeding. You know, and no matter how you try to breed it, you can't get that same shit again. Now, you might breed that female again to the same male dog, and you don't get no black dogs off the litter. You may do that same breeding 3 or 4 more times and don't get no black dogs. No brindle dogs or dark colored dogs like that. So that's why I say I wouldn't get rid of them. You know what I'm saying? But I would just acknowledge to myself that you know, something wasn't right in that particular breeding that fella was doing. Not the dude who made got the black dog puppies. but Maul can't. You know, brothers ain't right out here in this dog game. Same way they talking about Michael Myers about to be popping back up in 2026. Man, listen here, man. Nobody don't give a damn about no bullshit ass damn lie, for one. And nobody don't give a damn about that any damn way. We care about these Rottweiler dogs and these black dogs coming off War Pony. You can't explain. You explaining everybody dogs out here, day after day, month after month, talking about this, talking about that, with everybody else shit. But can't explain why War Pony is making these damn black dogs and tricolor dogs. Him and Hog. My man Pro Game Mag said they come off of copper. You know. Now, I've been told y'all, let me think real quick. Which one of these dogs been dead that I told y'all that Maul Kant kept breeding and said he was alive? Let me think real quick. If it's not the ice cream dog, it's either ice cream. I want to say it's ice cream. When that dog died, you know, he still kept breeding the dog. He pulled a David Tant with Grand Champion Yellow. Breeding the dog, still producing puppies, and the dog been dead. And this is off old school stuff. Now, if you pay attention, some of these bulldog channels, they talk about, oh, look at this dog over here feet. Look at his feet. Look at his feet. But they want to acknowledge the color, something that's so simple and plain to let you see that these folk is bootlegging this shit out here. Same way I told you that Big John sperm ain't going to give you no old school Big John looking dogs. You know, it's Big John, right? So that means my dog should look like they came from the 90s when I get my dogs. I should have these red-nosed brindle dogs, these buckskin light color brindle dogs, you know. Yeah, not no modern day. I told y'all that's gonna be a simple way for you to understand that these dogs ain't who you think they off of. Off that Big John sperm I'm talking about. Big John produced brindle buckskin dogs, as well as the colors that you got now. Light color cream stripes. You ain't gonna get none of them. I promise you that shit. They ain't had a dog with brindle, buckskin brindle in it since Big John them era. When the original dogs was around, Crazy Eye, Cyclone, Tornado, Little John, and the rest of them. You know. Anybody that know them dogs, when you got dogs from Mr. Cruz, back in them days, we talking about days of the yellow days, and when these dogs were still on the scene. You got these buckskin brindle, light color, red-nosed dogs was in them yellow dogs. You liable to get that shit. And I seen them in the Big John dogs myself personally. I seen them in the Cruz dogs personally, as well as other yellow dogs personally. The blonde brindle, what I was talking about. I'm not talking about the blonde brindle from any other line. A lot of lines produce blonde brindle. I'm talking about the yellow blonde brindle dogs. All yellow, top and bottom. Not no outer in it with a brindle dog in the bottom and naughty coming. Not none of that. We talking about straight yellow. Or red boy Jocko rather. So that'll just let you see that the sperm ain't the sperm. You know, whatever the sperm is, it ain't what people claim it is. Old school sperms producing new school dogs. Make it add up. It's no different than the War Pony stuff, man. All this shit. There's more dogs out there off War Pony that ain't the color that they supposed to be. These brothers just ain't bringing it out. They just gonna go about their business. And I seen them tricolor hog dogs get passed all around the United States. You know, as soon as a different person get them and they post them up, I automatically recognize them. Even as grown dogs, I recognized them. Something ain't right there, man. Something ain't right there. But like I said, look at the pedigree, my brother. Give me the pedigree if you want me to check it out, or talk about it or whatever. I'll check it out. But like I said, in my opinion, I can't give a full analysis on this litter until I see the whole entire pedigree. Not, like I said, I don't need to see the damn 13, 14, 15 generation, none of that. I need to see the first 4 generations. The whole ped from top to bottom. Every single dog in that ped before I can make a true analysis and say that it's not supposed to be there, But yeah, man, hit me up, man. Hit me up if you want me to do my thing with it. Check it out. Y'all stay safe out there, man. Y'all stay legal. Y'all stay steadfast. Read these pedigrees. Learn how to read a ped if you don't know how to read a ped. And understand if the color don't supposed to be there, it don't supposed to be there. You're not looking at it crazy. You're not imagining things. You know what I'm saying? Your eyes not playing tricks on you. It don't supposed to be there, man. So y'all stay safe. Y'all stay legal. And we out.
It's a proven fact that the American Pitbull Terrier is one of the most fascinating dogs worldwide. Maybe you've been thinking about bringing one into your family and need an in-depth look at the history, health, temperament, and lineage. This only means there's one book for you. The Pitbull Encyclopedia is your one-stop shop when it comes to your furry friend or companion. Knowledge is the key to running a successful program, so make sure your Pitbull is secured by having your very own copy of the Pitbull Encyclopedia. Why are you still hesitating about something you can do today?